Axon 4.4. It will be somewhat of a different webinar this time. So usually I get to hide behind my slides and I can use this massive headset and nobody can see me. And right now I'm sort of on a stage, a virtual stage, unfortunately still. Maybe one day we can get back on an actual stage. But what we really wanted to do is make this session a bit more interactive. So it will not just be me telling you about what we've done, but we are also very eager to learn about what you think of what we have been doing, and maybe you have some ideas that can, who knows, influence our roadmap. So we are very much looking for feedback as much as we would like to tell you what we've been up to. So in the very first part of this, well, let's just call it a webinar, I will be talking about the new features that we have implemented in Axon 4.4, both in framework as well as in server. And after that, because that won't take too long, we will have a panel discussion with live Q&A. A couple of our engineers will be on stage, and you will be able to ask questions live, so you can actually raise your hand and get pulled on stage as well. So if you want to, you can turn on your camera, but at least you can ask your question using voice. But of course, you can also still use the chat if you prefer. And then the panel host, Sarah Torrey, will relay that question to our engineers on your behalf. And at the end of it, we'll have some round tables. So you might have seen it already on your way here. There was a lounge area where you can do some speed networking or random networking. You just say, hey, I want to talk to somebody. And if anyone else press that button as well, you'll be linked and you can meet some people. It will be very similar to a meetup, but just then online. And we'll have some roundtable discussions. So you can sit on a table together with others and the people from the engineering team and just discuss any topic. There will be names of topics on the table. So if you discuss that, then it won't confuse anyone else. This session is recorded, so if, well, you are here, but if you weren't here, you can watch the recording later as well. That also means if you ask your question with your camera on, you will be part of the recording, just so you know. It's not as scary as it looks. Trust me, you get used to it eventually. So let's get to what you all came for. What's new in Axon 4.4, the new features? We'll start with what's new in framework. There's not as many new features, but a few little things that will help make modeling easier or configuration easier. And the first is maybe something that, well, you've missed or maybe not, but at least some people in the community have missed it, is the ability to use the @aggregate identifier and @aggregate_member, not so much on fields, but on methods. So what we did in Axon 4.4 is to not only allow the current structure where you put @aggregate identifier on a field, but you can also put those annotations on methods. That might be useful in certain scenarios where you have class inheritance or you want to use an abstract method, which is then implemented in subclasses. There are some situations where this could be easier than putting the annotations on fields directly. And of course, it's really up to you if you want to use it or not.